Man, we on the spot at the spot, man. One more time and shit like that. It's the old Saint Nick with the Professor Dwann B. Hotepish. Go check that channel out, man. Go check that link, man, when you really ready to get your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on. But, man, you know what I mean? We gonna do it how we always do it. I always say go like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do or if you don't, it ain't gonna stop because we gonna keep dropping this content for you. So, you know, we don't go off that, man. I don't give a fuck. If only one person's watching me in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? And it's pajamas, man. It's all right.
Bluegrass like a motherfucker.
Man, we do this shit, man, up out of the Pacific Northwest, man, the mighty Pacific Northwest, baby. You know what I mean? I-5 bound, I-5 south, I-South north. Feel me? Brother Dwann, man, you know what I'm saying? What's the politics, man? What's the new politics, man? Who you voting for?
I'm not voting for neither one of them motherfuckers. I want to see them duke it out, and I'm just gonna enjoy
Sit back
the
and
fight.
laugh.
Now, sometimes you got to sit back and watch the fight happen. You got to watch the train wreck. You know what I mean? Because on one hand, Biden gonna be dead whether we like it or not. It's pretty soon. That motherfucker, he look like King Friday from Mr. Rogers with them rosy cheeks, and he half dead like a motherfucker.
Real
You see that
tough.
motherfucker be shaking hands with ghosts.
1 foot in the grave.
And then he be stumbling and fumbling, and then Trump, this motherfucker beating charges. But the thing about Trump is he funny than a motherfucker. I want to see his tweets again.
Huh.
It wasn't between 2016 and 2020. It wasn't nothing better than waking up in the morning, taking that morning shit, and pulling out that Twitter and reading what the fuck did this nigga say today?
Overnight, man. You
know what I mean? This
morning.
motherfucker be like, oh, the China virus. I'm like, this motherfucker, wow. I kind of want that back. But at the same time, I don't want to vote it in necessarily. So I'm just going to sit back and watch everybody fight it out while I sit back and smoke this blunt. You dig?
Oh, man. I love watching this shit, man, because don't no one white person want to be a racist. They just, what do you think? Hey, you got a hat? Make America Beautiful? I got one.
Okay, you got one? Okay.
I just love putting that hat on, man, and just watching the room change.
Because you got the beautiful instead of, because they see, hell yeah, I want one of them hats.
It brings out, oh my God.
Hell
you get a chance, man, grab you one of them hats, bro, just wear it.
I love trolling motherfuckers. Like, you know my favorite t-shirt, the one I have, I gotta bring you that shit. I gotta send you one. My shirt, black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. I got that John Henry Clark shirt. I love wearing that shirt. I be in Costco. People be looking, they be like, because I'm already a big nigga, so people always look at me anyway.
Yeah.
And then they see that shirt, they see John Henry Clark in that scholarly pose, and they read it. And then black people don't owe anybody anything but a, and they get the facial expression out of that ass whooping. And that's true. Because the Democrats, going back to what he said about voting, and these people, they always come to black people, we need your vote.
Pandering. Boy.
We need this from you. Oh, you owe us because of civil rights. No, we don't owe you shit. We don't owe nobody nothing. Everything we vote for, it end up becoming somebody else's shit later on anyway. So people that, because like, people ask me about me withholding my vote. See, because somebody out there listening right now that's a Democrat like a motherfucker, and you're going to be like, you can't. You got to decide. You got to say something. Look, man, you study political science. It's the third rail. And they do this all the time. It's called abstaining. Yo, if a senator or a congressperson got an agenda, and then there's a vote out there on something else that don't either advance my agenda nor hurt my agenda, or if it doesn't it might actually harm my agenda. If it harms my agenda, I'm gonna vote no. So I can tell the world, it's gonna harm. But if it's neutral, and I know I might need that vote for something later on that I need, I'm going to abstain. And when they come around in Congress, in the Senate with 100 senators, when they lobby each other, so you need 50 votes, 51 votes, so you lobby. So senators all the time and people in Congress and the United States and the UN use the power of abstinence. If you're not talking to me about putting something in my pocket on this deal, then I'm just going to sit this one out. Y'all go and fight that out. But no, if you sit it out, I only get 47 votes. I got these 4 people that are going to be absent. I need 51. Now I got to go to y'all and say, okay, what is it going to take
in order for me
to get your vote? And then I'm going to say, well, I got this plan coming up next week. I'm gonna need a vote for you on that, and then on this plan, I'm gonna need you to add this little thing to what you got going on, and if you do those two things, you get my vote.
Real talk.
And if we as a people understand that with us voting in such a large block for one party, if every 2 years, every 4 years, neither party knew what we were going to do because the rest of the country sort of votes down the middle, whether it be white folks, whatever, white folks, 50-50, a lot of Latinos there, a lot of them vote Republican.
Yeah.
So the popular vote usually comes down very close. It's usually our 90% vote for one party block that sways an election this way or the other.
Real talk.
If that 90% understood true political science and say, you know what, I might vote or I might not. You know what that's going to force him to do?
What you got?
Hey, black people, what you need?
What you got? Q tried to tell us.
But they get people in these 2-year cycles. Political agendas are won over 30 to 50 years.
Real talk.
That's what niggas got to understand. The gay people, they got their rights in 2012. That's when they started in the 80s.
Real talk.
Back in the 80s, they had a little flag up. We'd be like, put that flag away.
We was laughing. We were paying these motherfuckers and shit like that.
They took Jesse Jackson Rainbow. Man, get out of here. And then 20 years later, they like, yeah, now we got your civil rights.
They the power.
You
can't do nothing without them.
Nigga. So if black folks saw political agendas, okay, this is what my kids are gonna get 25 years from now.
Real talk.
But let me start it now. And I'm okay, we're gonna lose this election, fine. Might lose the next one, fine. But by that third one, you're gonna have to talk to me. You're gonna have to talk to me.
You think that's what Mayor Butler did in Inglewood?
Which one's Butler?
Butler or Butts?
Butts. So you talking about Roosevelt Dorn?
Not Dorn. I'm talking about, man.
Butts was after Dorn, right?
Butts, I want to say Butts was after Dorn. I think it's Butler is in right now.
Yeah. Nah, they sold Inglewood.
That nigga sold them, boy. He sold you niggas out.
That nigga sold y'all, nigga.
He sold
y'all.
Out.
I remember I used to work at that bank in Inglewood. And I remember when Walmart was going to come into that same area.
Yeah.
Roosevelt Dorn, like we all stood up and was like, nah, that shit gonna start gentrification. Walmart wanted to build a super Walmart where the racetrack was. And this is 2001. And I remember we worked at the bank, we put out all kind of stuff like, no, keep the mega development out, it's gonna hurt all these small businesses. And there's a lot of small black businesses. You remember on Locust, on Market Street, a lot of black businesses. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
The record store that used to be on Manchester right there. You know what I'm talking about. So Dorn, he was leaning towards it, but he listened to the people, and he kept that Walmart megaplex out, and it held off gentrification in Inglewood for a good 15 years after that.
Real talk.
So I will say that I got him credit for that.
Nah, man, I'm just watching it. Like you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing, and it's like. First off, the traffic. Traffic on a Sunday.
What the fuck is wrong with Century?
Bro, Century been like that. Listen, Century been like that for years.
They repaved the motherfucker
and put a fucking in trees and shit instead of making it 4 or 5.
Yeah, more lanes. They put trees down the middle, and then you will be on Century and Doty. Ain't nobody coming, but you gonna be at that red light for like 7 minutes. I heard a whole Earth, Wind & Fire song at a red light. Like, what the fuck? They make long-ass goddamn songs.
Oh, mama just say the intermission, they might have talked, everything. Say, man, nah, man, it's crazy because I'm just, like, I'm looking at everything. I'm not just looking at that. And I'm like, in reality, though, these niggas sold Grandma's house.
They sold Grandma's house.
They sold uncles. They sold their grand. They got rid of it, man. You know what I mean? We was talking, they wanted to leave so bad.
So bad. Didn't value what we had. Didn't value. Some, it was circumstance. But 80% of these niggas sold it.
Well, the cold part was a lot of these motherfuckers was talking about they was taking to say they kids, and their kids was the problem to begin with anyway.
And what happened? All them people that was leaving the inner city, what is Palmdale now?
Come on, man.
A big-ass ghetto.
Lancaster,
Palmdale. The
San
only
Bernardino.
entertainment... like, at least San Bernardino got, you can somewhat get to Vegas from there and all that. Palmdale, bruh, They biggest entertainment complex is the movie theater. Concerts don't even go out there. At least in San Bernardino, you can go. At least Elder Barnes is gonna come to San Bernardino.
To the fair.
Yeah, the fair gonna be. Yeah, somebody from the '80s. Somebody from the '80s is gonna come out there to that motherfucker. You gonna get a drop in from Orange Juice Jones or somebody. Palmdale ain't nobody. It ain't no ain't no comedy clubs. It ain't no saloons. It's just hospitals and mega malls.
You just live out there.
And you just live there.
And high ass fucking electric bills.
Bruh, because it's cold as fuck in the winter and hot in the motherfucker in the summer. And so they tricked a lot of us, but it comes down to us. That's why my mission, my documentary is bigger than hip hop, the Black American Music Family Tree. And what I'm doing, like my ultimate goal, I could be very blunt with my what do they say, your ulterior motive or whatever? Yeah. What's your true intention?
Real talk.
My true intention is to fix what I personally identify as a major problem with black people. If you identify it as somebody else, then nigga find a solution and fix it. You know what I mean? People nigga gonna argue with you. Why you doing that? Because this is what I got, nigga. Do yours.
Real talk.
But me, I figure, damn, like when we had the Israelite brothers in here, them 10 years at the Reconstruction, after slavery, during Reconstruction, when they protected us and didn't allow our shit to get sabotaged, and we got just a little bit of money, a little bit of information, we really rebuilt the South.
Real talk.
We really rebuilt this country.
Real talk.
It's buildings at the Alabama State House still in existence today, stuff that we engineered. We didn't just build it. We were the engineers behind a lot of the stuff, and they don't tell y'all that. And during slavery, yeah, some slaves were engineers. Flat out. They weren't no buck-tooth slaves.
Leather workers, wood workers.
They were the workers, but they were also the motherfuckers drawing the blueprints too.
Exactly.
They don't even want to give them credit for that. Like they're the ones, but the slave man, but you couldn't own a patent as a slave.
Who designed and who built Boston?
Man, Benjamin Banneker. He did Philadelphia,
who designed it in Philly? Man, come on.
Man, and so I'm like, man, and then we look at after the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s. That period between 66 and 74, when they were giving us programs and giving us jobs, and UCLA, Berkeley was free, what did the gangsters do? What did the Slossons do?
They went to school.
They went to UCL motherfucking A.
They went to school.
That's what we did when we went. Just give us opportunity.
Where they killed Bunchy Carter at?
Yeah, the government.
Where at though?
UCLA. We went. The first thing we did when all things was equal, we went and got educations.
But this is the thing though, brother Dwann. When did our culture change that it wasn't cool to know history?
For us, I think that was a period. For the most part, it's been like that for a few hundred years. And here's the reason why. When your families get ripped apart, when you constantly building things and they get destroyed, it hurt to remember. Go back to Tulsa. Tulsa, when they burned down Tulsa, there was a law in Tulsa. If anyone talks about this, they can get lynched. So parents didn't tell their kids about what just happened because they were scared that the kids are out, hey, mommy, is that the place you said got burned down? Then that whole family can get killed. So it would be, for us, trauma made us afraid to hold on to the past.
Man, look, man. Hey, I want to do a movie. You bitch ass niggas, you try to steal it. Yeah, I said it first. I want to do a movie, you know, because I'm really into the documentaries. But I want to do a movie where I take all the gangbangers, all the dope slangers, all the hustlers, all the real niggas.
Yeah.
You know that bunch. The real niggas. And we jump on a time machine and we go back to slavery. I swear to God. And just see and have it as an experiment to see exactly what these brothers would do. Would they stand there? Man, because if you think about it, if you go back in the 20s and even in the 30s, you go back in the 40s. To kill a black man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's we got some killers, but you did something.
Yeah, you did something.
But just the endless, like the
that got beat into us after when you pull the fathers out the home all throughout the 70s and the 80s. You know what I mean? And remember, even when the riots happened, when we had the peace treaty,
real talk. Shout out Q-Bone.
It was the police that started that shit back up. It wasn't us.
But we know that. See, this is the fucked up part, right? Because we're in the same age bracket.
Yeah.
So we know that. We know that it was Asians setting their stores on fire and everything like that.
How the roof burned down before the bottom? Okay. Shooting water fire for the...
We know it wasn't just blacks that was out there looting.
Blacks looted the first day and a half. After that, it was all Mexicans.
But at the same time, when it's projected, it's just like, man.
And the Asians were shooting at... They weren't shooting at the black people. They were shooting at the others.
Real talk.
They even said it. They weren't even shooting at us. They were like, we understood. When they was on the building shooting, they were shooting at the white folks and the Mexicans. That was coming in. It was like, y'all ain't got no gripe here. What the fuck y'all doing here?
What's really going on?
What y'all doing here? Y'all ain't. The black people left 2 days ago from rioting.
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you the realest shit in the world. To this day, you know, that's why I don't go to the Staples Center. Mm-hmm. To this day.
Yeah.
Ever since the Lakers left the Forum, I don't respect it. Yeah. Because I know how that Staples Center was bought. And whose money and whose name. Yeah. So to this day, I boycott. I do not go to nothing around the Staples Center, no LA Live, none of that. Because I'm just that irritated and stubborn. Because I know, man, that came, bro, they got rich off the LA riots, bro. Yeah. Every time y'all just cheering for just remember, man, you know what I'm saying, who owns it?
Them riots. And that's also... If you look at the streets where them trains are going down now, Crenshaw, the Exposition line, all that stuff, those are all line streets that got burned the most on the riots.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? So and then they bought them rail lines a few years afterwards.
Come on.
You know what I mean? But I was going to say, but I was going back to why I said why I talk so much history. Because I understand that when we have a knowledge of self, I learned something in college. And they said high group esteem has a one-to-one connection to high self-esteem. And when people learn to appreciate their group, they appreciate themselves. If you value yourself, and if you value your group, it's less likely I'm going to do this to you.
Real talk.
See, when we weren't killing each other in the 40s and the 30s, that was before what? That was before Brown versus Board of Education.
Real
that
talk.
was the worst legislation for us, the integration of schools. Because when we taught ourselves, at least, even though it's not that we wanted integration, we wanted equal resources. We were getting tighter and tighter books, third class resources.
Everything used.
Yeah, we just wanted some higher class stuff, and so they gave us integration. But really, it was when we educated ourselves. If you look at the picture of black people in the 30s and the 40s, look at pictures of black people in the 1880s. When you find them, neck was always up, just out of slavery.
Hands up.
Any picture with any black man named John Henry or Earl, he's like this. Any woman named Susie May, if she got two first names, that era, they had a pride because we educated ourselves. When we started letting our kids, and I'm a victim of it, we both victims, we went to public school.
Real talk.
We had to sit in school, and every time we had a little bit of confidence, what would that white teacher do to us?
Be quiet, hush.
Hush. You come in and you trying to just, you interested in something, your mind is going, they want to put you in detention.
Hey, can I keep it 100? Straight jail pipeline.
Straight up.
Because when shouts out Mr. J, go check out, man, that documentary coming out, The Ritual. That's what I did a documentary. I did a documentary on my teacher, who was a black man from Inglewood.
The one I met, the boxing?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
We finishing editing right now.
Okay.
I did a documentary on him. Like, bro, mind you, these are your kids, just to give you these are your kids that y'all call problem childs. Yep. These are the kids that, Dorn sent away. These are the kids that Judge Moore sent away.
Yep.
These are those kids. Astrophysicists.
Bruh.
Fire captains.
Bruh.
Educators, professors. Yeah. But these is the kid that they said was retarded. They put all the bad kids in one class, They be, oh, that's the retarded class? Mm-hmm. Well, these are those students. I'm one of them students.
I saw the game. When I opened up my company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services, doing IEPs. When I would go, I was like, I was working at my job. I was like, what's an IEP? And then I would go in like, what? Then they would always have me work with these kids with special ed. Like, I'll read the jacket on this kid. I'm thinking I'm about to meet the devil. And then the more and more I meet him, I'm like, he's the smartest kids in the school.
Mamas.
And I'm like, so that made my education effort go even more in advance. Because I'm like, the more we know about ourselves, when we realize that, okay, could we see what we see was fucked up? So what's the natural conclusion? If what we see is fucked up, we fucked up. As just a natural connection. And if, go ahead.
No. Go. I'm listening.
And the education only tell you black greatness is being a rapper, being Martin Luther King, or like that, or being a basketball player. You know what I mean? Why am I here in school? Well, now, if they tell you that you also George Washington Carver, if they tell you that, if you Benjamin Banneker, now you might sit in class.
Shut up.
When I used to be in class, I would tell kids about Benjamin Banneker, designing Philadelphia, and why it's that little black boy's responsibility to be great at math. I would notice he would go back home and take math more serious.
Real talk.
And through him taking it more serious, he's not failing because he's stupid. He failing because it's just boring.
Man, look, this is why I brought up the point, and you're an educator, so you're gonna understand. This male teacher took the worst Latinos, blacks. Hey, I'm going through school. I just show up. I'm so I retarded. Yeah, I'm gonna say it because it's a slang term for us. I'd go to school, I ditch, but I come on test day and ace your test. Look at the teacher and say, well, an A and an F, that's a C. So we ain't got nothing to talk about. It's a C. If I come and show up on your test day and I ace your test, ace it. Because I learned back in the second grade, oh, okay, you just want me to
regurgitate.
Nah, man, I'm sitting here getting cotton mouth. That's what I'm saying, man. You just want me to sit here and just regurgitate everything, and that's what's going to be on the test, and all I got to do is just remember. So all I got to do is look at somebody's notes, remember that, and I'm going to ace your fucking test.
Yeah.
So at the same time, let me get some water, man. So at the same time, Mr. J, he challenged me. Because he challenged me a whole nother different way. He looked at me, he said, man, I don't have to teach you. You're one of those kids, once you read it, you got it. You just got to see it one time and you're going to catch on like that.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. We'll give you a test on Friday. That's how I look. I'm taking geometry, physics. You know what I'm saying? Not no punk-ass class. We ain't even sitting there with no punk-ass books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make it looking.
That's because it's like, look, how education is supposed to be done outside of the last 100 years, they changed it up to give white women jobs. And that's no disrespect to white women. These just historical facts. That was the one job they will allow women to have. That's a story between the white man and how he treats his woman. That's not me. You know, the one job he would allow her to have would be seamstress or teacher. You know? And so to make it easier on her, everybody sit down and watch me write on this chalkboard. It used to be, okay, we learn in division. We learn in fractions. You know what I mean? 3/4 minus 1/4. Then in the olden days, and then you learn geometry, a 45-degree angle. Then they give you a piece of lumber. Now cut a 45-degree angle.
Come on, it goes hand to hand.
Now the kid like, okay,
Visual.
now I see why I'm learning this. Let me get this.
Visual and hands-on.
Yeah, this like, okay, now geometry, you gonna pick it up like that because it's like, okay, now I know that I gotta cut that tree at a 35. Versus if you just saying, okay, do this bullshit and pass the test. Now it's like, man, fuck you.
So it don't fall. So it don't fall.
Just came out with a new song. Fuck what we talking about? You heard that new Bobby Brown? Yeah, that's what we gonna be doing back then.
Real talk.
But if you do that, if you say, okay, now we're doing fractions, 3/4, now you're gonna measure. Okay, now measure, do a 1/4-inch cut, and then do a 3/4-inch cut. I mean, you're gonna pick the shit up like that. You're gonna pick up, and now we're gonna do some calculus. Now we're gonna get a Bunsen burner and some shit, and we're gonna put this chemistry thing in. Okay, that's periodic table. Now put 2 parts this and 3 parts that, and watch it smoke. Now the kids gonna be like chemistry. Now you go back to the education, to the desk. to reinforce what we learned when we was
hands-on.
But they don't want to do that to us because America is exported its education to other countries. And they have that visa program that says, okay, if you're from India, China, Nigeria,
you can come here.
Because y'all actually educate y'all kids.
Real talk. You can come
so we're
here.
Gonna bring y'all in for the tech jobs because these American kids, they complain too goddamn much.
They want to play video games all day.
They want to play video games, and on the other hand, they got rights. If they know you touch me, I'll sue you. Yeah. And on top of I'll sue you. On top of that, no, I'm taking my whole hour lunch break. You bring in people who are fresh in, they're not gonna be as proactive at, they know they're getting done wrong, but I ain't trying to get sent back home. Man. So you're not gonna complain. America don't like complainers. They don't care if this is for white people, for Mexicans, anybody, any race. This ain't a black conversation. Once you've been ingrained in American society, second, third, fourth generation, they ain't got nothing for you because you got too many rights. You gonna be thinking how to game the system. You're gonna read the manual. So now, we need somebody new to this country, and they doing it right now in the tech because we know they educated you better than you because we know what we educated. Right. They know your whole school record. They know your elementary school wasn't shit. They know your high school just gave you A's, but those weren't really A's.
Real talk.
They know that college was just, you did some extra shit. They know that person come from over there, they the real deal. And they can pay them less, and they're not going to fight for their HR rights. They're not going to go to HR.
Hell no.
Because America likes mistreating people. They don't care what color you are.
Come on, man.
If you're here on visa, would you complain to HR?
What, the funniest part, all these immigrants, these youngsters ain't even paying attention that these majority are males. Their age, coming for your jobs. That's what the coldest part. They're not coming for me. They're not coming for you. They coming for you youngsters. They about to be your police officers. They about to be your firemen. They about to be truckers.
They're already your truckers.
They construction.
All those skilled labor jobs, they gonna get jobs for the Department of Water and Power. City plumbing, because now they said, city in California now you don't have to be a city to get a county job. So all those county plumbing jobs.
Come on.
Because they're not gonna go to HR. They know you will, and they know that you're
spoiled.
If the base pay is $56 an hour, you're gonna want to unionize. You know what I mean? We get people who are new here. They're not gonna be as. My dad dealt with it in the '90s. As a trucker, he was there in the '80s. When in the '80s, all the truckers were black. By the time '92 came, all trucks were Mexican.
NAFTA bill.
Yeah, after then, when the company said, "Oh, we can't give you guys a raise," whereas all the people who are the Americans that were here before, like, no, fuck that. They strike and get the raise. Now you got new people into this country. No disrespect to immigrants, it's just how the game works. They got people that don't got papers, they're not all the way right. When they come and say, okay, we're not gonna give you a raise, they're not gonna strike.
They're just gonna go to work.
They're already getting paid more than they ever got paid before.
In their life.
Why would they strike?
Real talk.
And so that's the game they played. Now, it was funny, I was driving down El Segundo the other day and I saw these workers complaining about pay. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, what you guys don't understand is, your dad came to undercut my dad. And I figured it out. I can't trust none of these jobs. I see the game. I got to make my own money doing some other wimpy wamping. Your dad raised you and they gave your dad a good opportunity and he raised you on this American dream thinking that you was going to have something. Mm-hmm. Now you, the child of an immigrant, you're complaining about pay raises. Not understanding that your father came to make sure pay raises don't exist. Now that you're complaining, they'll give you that pay raise. But one by one, all you motherfuckers gonna be gone. They don't care that you Latino. They're gonna have some new Latinos or some new whatever country they choose, India, whatever country they choose, to undercut you and take your job until the robots take over.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And that's the bitter truth when I talk to people about race. Look, black people, we just the first. We ain't the only. If you look and see what they're doing to us, understand that's going to happen to your children. That's to white people. That's to Asians. That's to Latinos. When you see them, like, remember we was crack in the 80s.
Real talk.
Everybody's like, look at those crackheads. What do you see out here right now? What are their children dealing with?
Man, pills, like that, they is dying left and
it look worse than the crack epidemic.
The crackheads is still alive.
And the crackheads was only in the hood. You go to Venice Beach, you wasn't no crackhead. I was going on a scooter through the downtown last night. It's zombies everywhere.
You want me to tell you the realest shit in the world? I knew it was poor white people, but I didn't see them until I came to Washington. When I came to Washington and I seen a kid, nigga, I'm talking about he's storming, and he going to school with a t-shirt and shorts on, walking in the rain. I'm just like, the fuck? Like, I'm in LA, I'm like, oh, this would never happen in LA. We might be poor, but you'll never see no kid like this. Like, man, somebody, nah, baby, we'd have gave it. But I'm just looking at it, and then I'm just like, wow. And then I look at all the opportunities. Like, that's why I get irritated. Like, I look at all the opportunity that this city has to offer, and they don't take advantage, and that shit hurts me. Hurts my soul.
That's what happened. See, when your parents were laughing at us when we were going through it, that's why I believe in just, you know what I mean, when you see something happening to a human, you gotta, even if you can't do nothing about it, you gotta have some level of compassion about it.
Real talk.
Because when you go around saying, look at those group of people, they're this, they're that, it's gonna happen to your children. I mean, America designed it that way.
Come on.
Because America don't give a fuck about nobody that's been here past 3 generations. Don't give a fuck what color you are. They want to bring somebody in to replace you for cheaper.
Well, the funniest part to that shit is we watched it, like you said, in the 80s and the 90s, right? We watched it. We really watched it. When I hear about all these kids dying, the way that they're dying, and I'm like, the fuck is it? Like, it's got so bad that if you can't take some candy from a kid. You take some candy from a kid, you don't know what the fuck. Like, you let your kids just take candy from other kids, you crazy.
It's crazy, like, like, America's a sick country, but, like, what I was telling your son early on, he had some dope questions, too, man.
Oh, he burnt out.
Man, he dope. But I was telling him earlier, everything that we see happening in this country, I don't judge people, because that's what this country is. When America wants something, what do? Gangster shit.
Real talk.
They steal, what do? They give drugs. They had India and China on opium since the 1800s. You know what I mean? They went to Afghanistan and started a war and planted all that shit. Now China got its weight up, and it's in all the goddamn meth it can send. Now Mexico jumping in the game like, we gonna make it do and fucking people up. But you started it.
But this the cold part. You know about the opium wars?
I don't know about the crisis. I don't know about the wars like that.
The opium wars of 1800?
It wasn't the Asian countries in Britain.
Listen, Britain, France,
Yeah.
for the silver, for the silk,
Learned about this in school for a little
for the seasoning. And
Spices.
they grew opium and gave them opium, got them hooked.
And got them just for like over honey, just had them just dull. That's why India was so down for. That's why
India.
That's India and China. That's why England was able to come in and boss them around for so long, and that's how when we look at the Roosevelts, Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, that Roosevelt fortune came from those. Yeah, that's where their fortune came from, and a lot of your presidents, you know, their family fortunes came from that.
Wasn't Teddy a fucking nut too?
Yeah,
It was on drugs.
Nuts, yeah.
yeah. Teddy got credit for winning the Battle of San Juan in the Spanish-American War. With the
Like guerrilla wars, right?
Yeah, but they gave him credit, but really the people who won the war were the Buffalo Soldiers, the black people. Yeah. And then if it's a picture, you'll see a picture of Teddy Roosevelt with a flag, and you see all these white soldiers. That's because it's cropped.
Yeah.
When you see the whole picture, it's black folks, the whole battalion, but they put the white ones in the middle and cropped it. And he was the last one up the hill. He didn't do shit. But that's what they do.
Come on, man.
But that goes back to the education I talk about. When you tell these kids that they've done something to create and make this nation thrive. It wasn't just slavery. It was on every front, from your genius to your music to your mathematics. When you teach them that and teach black folks and teach people self-worth, they take it as a responsibility to hold up. That's why my job in my field is teaching. Because I'm not going to sit around preaching, somebody needs to teach. Somebody needs to teach. No, I just fucking teach. Since that's my way that I see. The next person says, okay, we need more hand labor skills. Or I'm not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. If you feel that's what you need, then you need to be the one, and you're going to get a lot of people that's going to follow you. If you feel No, we need more skills in whatever area. Then you just be the one to be like, okay, if it ain't nothing but 3 kids, you did your job.
You did what you supposed to. See, but hey, that's the difference though. When I went to Monroe motherfucking junior high school. Yeah, man. Hey, man, wood shop, metal shop. Took that shit, man, you know what I'm saying? It went hand in hand
What
with
did it
math.
turn into? You could fix your own goddamn cars.
Come on.
Like, have these kids shoot
Auto
each other?
shop. Man,
Would these kids be shooting each other if they had an auto shop and then a place to go work it afterwards? But you give them nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
You go to I'll close out by saying this. You go to the Kerner Commission report and the Moynihan report. These are very important reports in the late 1968, 1969. In the Moynihan report, it talked about Black Americans, a study on Black America. It said, you know what it said about Black Americans? It said Black Americans, when minimally to adequately resourced, not even overly resourced, just enough. Our study shows when Black Americans have just enough, there's virtually no crime. This is what your United States government said, and you can look this up on Nixon.gov. The Moynihan report and also the Kerner Commission report. 2 very important reports for you guys to look up because it's studying Black America. And it's saying that if we want to keep them in our grasp, because they're trying to figure out why we were rioting so much in the 60s. It said because in the early 60s, we promised Black people a whole bunch of stuff we didn't plan on giving them. And so now we're going to have to change language. We're going to add the word minority. We're going to add people of color. And we're going to give preferential treatment to Latinos, Asians, and Native Americans for a period. But if we use this vague language, Black people are going to assume it's for Black people. But we're never going to tell them that, so they're not going to react the way they were reacting, and it worked. They started using minority, people of color, and these vague terms that didn't exist 2 years ago. Psychological warfare on us. And they would say, so even to this day, when they say we have minority programs, people will assume Black people, when all the studies have shown since the 70s, the people that benefit the most from civil rights is white women, and then after that, immigrants, and then after that, then today, in today's world, trans, gay, then Black people. When it comes to corporations benefit more for civil rights legislation than Black people. People don't even know that. Walmart, these corporations, they get a lot of their shit off civil rights. Women's sports, Title IX, civil rights money, our shit. Handicap parking spaces, all that shit came out of civil rights money. All that money was supposed to come to us. But they put it in the word people of color and minorities. Handicaps and minorities. Women and minorities. Immigrants and minorities. And so we fought for a whole lot, but they've studied this carefully. Just get these niggas just a little bit, they won't be fine. So what did they do? What did Nixon do? No, we need to keep a permanent underclass. You got to keep crime for America to exist. Crime has to exist. Poverty has to exist. So we can't adequately resource these niggas. They won't be impoverished because one of these niggas is going to turn into Berry Gordy and get a Motown. One of these niggas is going to be Suge Knight and get a Death Row. One of these niggas, that's what happens if 10 niggas get money, 2 are going to turn into Berry Gordy and Suge Knight. And you know what I mean? That's just how we get down as people.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? So we got to keep that resource away. So what we see when we see people shooting each other, the reason why I never lived a life, but I still at the same time don't judge those who have, is I understand that there's a social engineering in place that's going to guarantee 5% of the outcome is going to turn out that way. Everybody ain't shooting everybody. It's just a handful of people that's happening.
Real talk.
The rest of us is trying to live our lives. We get annoyed by that shit too. But if I do this, it won't get everybody, but it's going to get 3% of them. And then 3% are going to be shooting the shit. And then what I'm going to do with my media apparatus is I'm going to highlight that shit like a motherfucker.
Present it.
And like what happened with this whole Kendrick-Drake beef. It was a shooting that Drake is beefing with The Weeknd too. And The Weeknd and XO Records, and the leader of XO Records. His house got shot up in LA 2 weeks ago. They didn't put that on the music beef. Drake and Push-Ups had just dropped the dude's name and said, and his house got shot up. But because they ain't us, it don't get pushed on their community. It don't get pushed on their music. But then the minute Drake shot The Weeknd is from Toronto, just like Drake. It's far more likely them two they've been having 10-year-long rivalry.
They've been beef.
They've been beef for a long time.
And that's a whole nother different culture. That's a African, Jamaican culture.
And the shooting happened at the dude's house, and none of that got blamed on the music.
Hell no.
Kendrick from Compton, and they trying to put him connected, but that's how it is when it comes to. So we'll have the same issues. White folks have the same issues with killing Latinos, Asians. Fuck with them triads if you want to. You want to talk. The home invasions in the Asian community is off the roof. Everybody be fucking. Everybody rob everybody.
Come on,
everybody kill everybody.
Come on.
But since I own the media, I'm making it sound like these niggas is the only one. And I engineered that. So that's why I have compassion. I don't focus on them. I focus on, let's just keep educating ourselves. And that's my part. And if it's one of you angry niggas out there saying, well, education gonna do, you need to be doing, what nigga you do it? Because I'm the nigga you do it nigga. This is just a conclusion I came through working with kids for 25 plus years on the ground. And this is something that all the kids I work with, when I had knowledge of self, I have a flipped children behavior like that. The worst kid would always listen to me just by putting confidence in that little nigga. That's all my little nigga need was some confidence.
Hey, and that's what this episode's gonna. That you know what? When I did that documentary, and every individual that I interviewed, the thing they had to say about Mr. J, he gave me confidence.
Confidence to do anything. Fuck knowledge. Confidence. Confidence, nigga, I'll run through that brick wall. I'll figure it out.
What made me learn, he gave me confidence. Hey, man, you smart. Just read this, I'll give you a test. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time trying to, all you gotta do is read it and you'll pick up the information.
Give my little niggas confidence.
Confidence. He gave me the Malcolm X, autobiography of Malcolm X. Read that, changed my life.
Without confidence, I can give you any bit of information, but if you ain't got the confidence to push it, you ain't gonna do shit with it.
Man, we gonna end this, man, right here, bro. Gotta catch a flight and everything like that. Before I go, man, I just got 2 questions for you, big homie. It's gonna be real. I'm talking about simple and fast. Is there more women than men?
It's more women than men.
Can we stop calling them minorities?
Yeah, we should.
Man, you know what I'm saying? And my last question is, man, you know what I mean? Where can these people find you at, brother?
At Dwann B. It should be at Dwann B on there. That's at DWANNB, DwannB.com. Dwann B on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and DwannB.com. I got a whole lot. I got my documentary that I'm filming. I got my podcast. I got my shirts. I got everything going on, man.
Man, hey, it's bigger than hip-hop, man. Check out that doc, man. You know what I mean? Man, please check out, man, this show, man, Hotepish, Incense, and, man, Ashtrays. Man, hey, good brother, man. You know, I love his intellectual content, man. And if you're trying to learn and trying to grow, man, fuck with him, man, for real. Hey, man, shouts out to Shane, Rob Nova, McGlover, you know what I'm saying? Lucas, Tonic with his dog ass, you know what I mean? And, man, of course, man, the Jewel, Corey, man, we up out of here, man. We got the spot.
Yes, sir.